Is making hard alcohol illegal? Well, federally, yeah, it is. But in most states, as long as you're not selling it, it's only sort of illegal. It's one of those things where there's not agencies there to really determine what you do in your own home. And so if you're just making alcohol for your own consumption, in a lot of states, you're not going to get looked at. Now, how is alcohol made? Well, the easiest way to do it is with what's called a sugar wash. A sugar wash is you take a very simple sugar, something easy to ferment, and you add something that's like a turbo yeast that's got all the yeast and the nutrients in there to turn that sugar into pure alcohol. That's something you can take and put into a still like the Turbo 500 still that we sell here, or even just a little air still, which does a really great job at doing countertop distillation. And there are multiple runs that you'll do to kind of clean the alcohol up over time. A sugar wash is the easiest thing to get into because you can make a very neutral spirit, and then with that neutral spirit, you can add flavorings. You can oak age that thing. You can add your own fruit flavorings. I've seen people do canned apple pie filling and then filter that out to make an apple pie style moonshine. Or there are flavorings from companies like Still Spirits that do brandy, whiskey, tequila, whatever flavoring you want. Beyond the sugar wash, the next most complicated would be doing something specifically for flavor. So let's say a rum. This is a rum distiller's yeast, and rum distiller's yeast is designed to ferment flavored sugar in a way that holds on to those flavors through the distillation process. You're not necessarily over neutraling the spirits, but you are getting the spirits up to a point where you get all the flavors and all the alcohol without over stripping them. So a rum yeast would be used for things like molasses, things like caramelized sugars that you caramelize yourself. It can even work for things like if you're doing agave or burnt down agave. Flavorings that you can use if you have a neutral spirit, besides doing like a gin botanical infusion, which gin is a neutral spirit just filtered through botanicals, are these Still Spirits flavorings. Like Distiller's Caramel, which is a great add-on to most whiskeys. Peach schnapps, good by itself, but you can also sweeten that up with more sugars or glycerin. Apple brandy, that's great for fruit-based distillates that you want to add a little bit of flavor of apple wine to, or schnapps. So getting something hot and spicy like a Fireball, and again, you can add more sugar to that to kind of sweeten the entire body up. Flavorings work great on neutral spirits, and that's something that's really popular to do if you're a home distiller working with sugar shines. Now, beyond using prepackaged rum yeasts or sugar shine yeasts, you've also got nutrients that can work really well with any medium you've got. So let's say you're doing grains. If you want to make your own whiskey, you can mash grains just like you would with beer and make a whiskey off of it, but you want to make sure you've got nutrients to support your yeasts to go through, especially if you're doing a higher alcohol. A lot of times when you're doing a grain wash, you want to fortify that with extra sugars, and your yeast can't handle that without extra nutrients. If you want to do a pure grain wash, you can also do that too, but usually you're going to make 4 batches and then do a single distillation, concentrate that down, and do a double distillation to take your 4 batches and then turn that into the value of 1 batch. And so you're really only getting a small percentage of alcohol off pure grain wash. So fortified stuff with nutrient works super well. The easiest way to get into moonshining, if you've got access to friends that have fruit trees, is just steal their fruit. Steal their fruit, juice it, add some yeast, add some nutrient, ferment that off, and then you've got whatever wine comes out of that fruit. Again, you can turn that into a neutral spirit and add your flavorings. But that's how I see a lot of people get into nutrients. I even see people that work for local food banks that when they have fruit that's about to go bad and they can't give to people anymore, they will take that fruit, smush it down, turn that into alcohol, and have alcohol for themselves. So there's a lot of ways to get into distilling. The easiest systems that I've seen are an air still or something like the turbo still. But there are plenty of stills out there from a bunch of different companies. And it's sort of legal. So this is not me saying get into moonshining. Why did we make this video? This was stupid. No, it wasn't. No, it was good. People like it. It's legal, guys. Trust me. These fingers aren't pointing to anything, but also you should subscribe and like and comment below. If you don't, I'll be sad. I'm sad a lot, but like I'll be sadder than normal. So hopefully that tickles your sympathy button.